This is the series where I tell you a story, its subsequent theories and explanations, and then I let you make up your mind. This time we're going to the Polynesian islands to visit the Moai of Easter Island. Somewhere in eastern Polynesia lies Easter Island. It is riddled with monolithic humanoid statues carved by the Rapa Nui and called Moai. More than half are still at their origin the quarry of Raraku. However, hundreds were transported from there and put around the perimeter of the island. No mean feat, as the tallest measured 10 meters or 33 feet and the heaviest weighs an impressive 86 tons. I'm sweating and tired just knowing about that. Carved in relatively flat planes, the human figures would be outlined in the rock face and then chipped away until only the image remained. Known for their large, broad noses and strong chins, they boast rectangular ears and deep eye sockets. The bodies are with arms resting in different positions and no legs. That is except the 7 at Ahu Akivi, who also face out to the ocean. You're peeing in the water, gents. In 1979, Sergio Rapu Hawa and his team were collecting and reassembling white coral when they realized they belonged into the elliptical eye sockets, probably with either black obsidian or red scoria as pupils. Next they're gonna say they wore glasses. Polynesian colonizers carved the statues between 1250 and 1500 BC and moved most of them to the coast. In addition to being symbols of authority and power, both religious and political, they were believed to be spiritual repositories, the embodiment of powerful living or former chiefs. They're ghosts! Help us all! They were put on a stone platform called Ahu, some with redstone cylinders on their head called Pukao. The larger the statue, the more mana or magical spiritual essence the represented chief had. It appears that the Raraku was abandoned abruptly, giving rise to the claim there were at least as many unfinished Moai than finished ones. It is now believed, however, that some were rock carvings never meant to be finished, some were forcibly abandoned when hard inclusions were encountered, some were placed there permanently, and some were indeed left incomplete when the statue building came to an end. They got tired of it, wouldn't you? Scientists revealed during an excavation in 2011 that the massive stone heads are attached to torsos, deep buried stone bodies. Thor Heyerdahl had excavated one such statue decades before, but project director Joanne van Tilburg confirmed a more interesting discovery of ropes connecting the bodies to a tree trunk, possibly to pull the statue into an upright position. They also found a red pigment in a burial hole, leading them to believe it was used to paint the Moai as well as themselves for ritual and ceremonial practices. The discovery of human bones indicate that burials took place around the statues and priests used the pigment in burial ceremonies. So they're not ghosts, they're haunted? It just got worse! Robert M. Schoch believes the writing system of Easter Island is 10,000 years older than popularly believed. After exploring Göbekli Tepe, a set of ancient stones in Turkey believed to have been erected 12,000 years ago, he stated that the site and the Egyptian Sphinx were built by hunter-gatherers and that they are equal to the Moai, due to the similarities in the style and the hands, conveniently not mentioning the difference in the heads. He also believes the Rongo Rongo script of Easter Island describes a plasma event in the sky thousands of years ago. Yeah, not long now, and the aliens are gonna come into the story. A story exists of the long-eared people building a ditch filled with brushwood to lead the short-eared people in and then burn them. A long-eared husband told his short-eared wife, who betrayed him, and they subsequently murdered all but one long-eared survivor by leading them into the ditch and burning them. Rupert Ivan Murrell mentions this in his cranial and postcranial skeleton remains from Easter Island, the discovery of two different types of skulls found, and Thor Heyerdahl writes about a deadly war from around 1675 in Aku Aku. When Captain Cook visited the island a century later, he described many long-eared people casting doubt over the tale. Unfortunately, racism is of all times. A very popular theory about the demise of the Rapa Nui says they brought it on themselves. They cleared their lavish forests to make room for agriculture. New theory, however, states that there is little evidence for this, as they were intelligent agricultural engineers, and that even if they cut all the trees to replace them with grassland, their decline only started with the arrival of the Europeans. Yeah, look into the mirror, because we're all responsible. The lack of predators and the overflow of food means a population explosion of rats brought there by the first settlers. The rats may have prevented the regrowth of the trees, however, recent archaeological evidence gives rise to the idea that they were a food source for the islanders when they were building their fields to sustain them. Sounds delicious. The Orongo village in the Ranukau crater boasted a competition to honor the fertility god Maki Maki. One needed to swim to an island to get an egg, come back and climb the slopes without being eaten by a shark. The winner was named BIRDMAN and assumed leadership for a year. At that time, the islanders were inspired to rebuild their culture, but one year they became infected with disease and afflicted with injury, so they did not succeed. And then the missionaries arrived to convert them to Christianity. Today, few people remain with true ties to the Rapa Nui culture. I'm like a bird, I only fly away. There exists a Moai statue in sitting or kneeling positions, said to represent an ancient singer called TUKUTURI. It is smaller, its features more human-like, made from red punapua stone, and it seems to gaze toward Orongo, spurting theories it's connected to the Birdman cult. Others speculate it is simply an experiment with new carving techniques. Whatever the case, it is the most intriguing statue found on the island. It was the missionaries after all. The greatest mystery that exists about the Moai is how on earth did they get to their location. In the 80s, attempts were made to move them using the tools the Rapa Nui had at their disposal, and they found it almost impossible. That is until archaeologist Charles Love managed to move a 10-ton replica 46 meters or 150 feet in 2 minutes in 1987 using a makeshift vehicle consisting of 2 sleds with the help of 25 men. Didn't the Egyptians do it that way? 10 years later, a Czech engineer called Pavel and the Norwegian adventurer Thor Heyerdahl built their own replica, tying one rope around its head and another around the base. They rocked the statue from side to side, but had to stop because they damaged it. But Heyerdahl estimated they could have moved the statue, or one twice as big, 100 meters or 330 feet in a day. Move them? Yes. Get them there in one piece? Nah. Recently, two researchers called Terry Hunt and Carl P. Lipple investigated the claim that the Rapa Nui tied ropes around the statues and moved them using a walking motion. They moved the statue 100 meters or 330 feet, claiming this would explain the folklore that the Moai walked to their places by magic. Where are those aliens with their technology? In 2010, a team of archaeologists suggested that the statues might not have been moved at all. Heyerdahl based this theory on the fact that many statues fell during the transport and were subsequently abandoned. But the archaeologists suggested they were carved at a location and just fell where they stood. They based themselves on a theory of Catherine Routledge from 1914, stating that the concave roads would have made it extremely difficult to move them. Routledge said the roads were for ceremonial purposes, and the team agrees, believing the site of the extinct volcano Ranuraraku, to where all these roads lead, to be a sacred center of the island. Let's gather in prayer for them. Another popular theory is that aliens created or at least influenced the building of the statues. Many, not in the least Eric von Daniken, believe the aliens used their technology to carve, build and or transport many of the Earth's monuments, and the Moai of Easter Island are no different. Told you so. A myriad of theories on different topics, all related to the Moai of Easter Island. I wish you lots of fun thinking this one over before you decide. Did you like the video? Click the like button. Leave comments or start a discussion in the comment box. If you want to see more, you can subscribe to my channel. I have a vlog channel, so if you want to get bored, why don't you check it out? And you can follow me on social media. All links in the description. See you next time!